step I took, the feeling of unease intensified, yet I compelled myself to press on. Then, my beam of light illuminated something at the far end of the cellar. Initially, I mistook it for a person standing with their back to me, but as I approached, I realized it was not human at all. It was an old scarecrow, dressed in tattered clothing, with a burlap sack for a head and straw protruding from every opening. I was certain it hadn't been there before. It looked newly placed. Suddenly, the scratching noise erupted again, now louder and more frantic, but this time it was emanating from behind the walls rather than the floor. I stumbled back, panic rising within me as the scratching seemed to surround me from all sides. In the dim light, I noticed cracks appearing in the stone walls, as if something or someone was trying to break free. I dashed up the stairs and slammed the cellar door shut, my heart racing wildly. I considered fleeing, but